there are some crimes that people can commit online. Can you just give us a kind of rundown of 4 or 5 of them?
Okay, I think for no crimes you can commit online, we have online fraud. People go online to commit fraud. I think that falls under what's it called? Crimes committed online. Then cyber stalking. Do you understand? Then defamation. I think that happens a lot because people make use of social media to just come online to say anything. They just come online. Some people use it for clout. Do you understand? So that's a crime that falls under crime.
Cybercrime.
Yeah, cyber crime.
Thank you, Indamla. The problem now is people actually have the right, the freedom of speech. So, at what point do they cross from exercising the freedom of speech and committing a crime, especially when you say defamation?
Okay. When it becomes a crime, when you are maybe going outside of your freedom of speech, is when you come online to say something that is false. Okay, you heard someone saying something, you don't even know if it is right, you don't even try to find out the details about whatever it is you are putting out, to just come online to drop it there. Okay, oh, this person is a fraud, this person is a thief, without even trying to find out, oh, is this person really guilty of this crime you're accusing the person of. So such person can come back or can come out to say, oh, they want to sue you for defamation of character, because you literally put out a statement that is false and against their own person.
That
So
has actually affected their
affected
image.
their image. Especially if there are people that they are public figures, they see it as a very big deal, as a very big offense. Do you understand?
Yeah, very
So,
well.
yeah.
Thank you very much, Oyindamola. And on that means human rights, like the freedom of speech, is not really absolute.
Yes, it has
It is
limits.
regulated by
Yes,
the law.
cannot just say because you have your freedom of speech, you have freedom to say whatever it is you want to say, then you just come online to say things that you don't really know about. You don't know whether this thing is true or false. So it's very important that before putting anything out on social media, or
You verify the
yes, you have to
authenticity.
verify whether this thing I'm putting out is right or not.
Okay, thank you, Oyindamola. So we will be going on a very short break. We'll be back very soon. Thank you, our listeners. Yesterday, I think the Federal High Court in Abuja actually sentenced Omoyele Sowore. I think it was to be detained for 2 or 3 days, and my friend reached out to me. I was like, the law, Omoyele Sowore, what he did was just he expressed his thought online. So don't we have freedom of speech again? And I was trying to convince him and explain to him that, well, for every freedom we have, there are constitutional limits.
Yes.
And if you look at the case of the DSS, the matter is before the court, and we should not be prejudicing it. But notwithstanding, the argument of the DSS was Omoyele Sowore went on Twitter and said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a criminal. And the DSS said, fine, we are not fighting you, no wahala. Just come to court and show us when a court of law reached that verdict.
Okay, that
declared
Tinubu is really a criminal.
A criminal. That means you have to look for a case where he lost, and the court actually say, oh, we find you
He was
guilty.
convicted
Of a crime. Thank you very
yes.
much. So that's the problem. It's not like you cannot go online and say, oh, Mr. A or Mr. B is a criminal. But the problem is when the police, the DSS, or the security agencies come for you, you should be able to prove that which you have posted. And when my friend was trying to prove it yesterday, he was like, we see it every day. He's a corrupt man. I said, see, it is not a problem. You have the right to your thoughts. But before you express your thoughts, make sure your evidence is very, very solid. Thank you, Oyindamola. So, talking about cyber crimes, you also made mention of another thing that I find very interesting. You made mention of cyber bullying. Can you explain that? What constitutes cyber bullying?
Okay, I think cyberbullying in the instance of you trying to come on, everything is still online. You come online to do all these things. Maybe let's say there's a celebrity now. Maybe you are not really in. Maybe you don't like this person. They start putting out posts to to threaten the person or threaten people that are close to the person, start putting out threats, false messages about that person, that kind of thing. At the end of the day, maybe if it becomes too much, people get affected by this thing. Do you understand?
Yes,
Get
I
affected.
get
So
it very
putting
well.
out posts or messages online against someone that sometimes people don't even really know much about
It
these
is.
people.
I think it is very important to also let our listeners understand that when we say cyberbullying, it is. It doesn't really mean you are even saying bad thing about this person online, but like you are after this person, you're always in their DMs. Like
Always in their business. Maybe sometimes when they make a post now, you are always under their post saying stuff like always commenting things that maybe that will bring them down, make them feel one type
designed
of way.
to make them feel
Yes.
annoyed.
Yes.
Thank you
So
very
yeah.
much. So, and I also read a portion of a textbook yesterday where the legal expert who wrote the book was actually of the opinion that when you message someone and they actually told you outrightly that stop texting me, if you should go back to their DM and message them, it becomes a crime. It becomes cyber bullying. So you don't give anybody any unwanted attention or attraction online. Leave people alone. Let them enjoy their digital space. Thank you, Oyindamola. That's a very interesting one. Our listeners might actually want to ask one or two questions. You can reach us on 070-4700-3969. In case you did not get that, you can also reach us on 070-4700-2969. So while waiting for people to actually call in, Oyindamola, I also want to ask another very important question. Is it all situations where you post an harmful content online that the law frowns at, or there are certain conditions like maybe that's been a false allegation or something?
Okay, if you are saying harmful, let's not say harmful, because if anything is harmful against someone, then it is bad. Do you understand? Let's say maybe you put out a statement. Do you understand? It does not have to be. Let's not generalize that it is harmful, because the moment it is harmful, then it is bad. So when you're putting out a statement, you have to ensure that it is true. Because the moment you're putting, okay, let's say, the way and you said Shore said, Tinubu is a criminal. If at the end of the day, maybe after it's really able to prove that there's actually a court verdict showing that Tinubu is a criminal. In that instance, your statement goes from being a defamation of character to something that is true. Do you understand?
Yeah,
So
very
yes,
well.
in that instance, the law can be on your side. That this statement you put out is actually true. So yes, the law can protect you.
I think that would be
situation.
justification. Like,
Yes,
thank you
yes.
very much. So it's not every situation where you put in a let me say a negative statement about people that you actually be guilty of defamation. If you can show the court, if you can prove that this thing, like I remember a case, I've forgotten the citation of the case, where someone actually publicized that someone was HIV positive or something, and he was able to actually bring a proof to the fact that it was he himself that even informed me of his test results. He gave me his test results. He said he is HIV positive. So when I brought that statement to the public, I was merely stating what he already told me. I did not design it to put him to shame or something like that. Now, Oyindamola, talking about threatening messages and all these defamation, misuse of social media also, is there no kind of protection for people also? Where does does the right make provision for people to actually be able to express themselves also?
Yes, you can express yourself. The law is not against. That's why we have freedom of speech. There's a fundamental human right of freedom of speech that you can come on that, and social media is even there for you to be able to express yourself. Come there to pass out knowledge, let people gain knowledge about things maybe they don't know. Do you understand?
So, what are the consequences of defamation, cyberbullying, cyber stalking, and
Okay, I think there are instances whereby a person can be fined.
made to pay fine?
Yes, pay a fine, a particular amount of money to the person you put out a what's it called
Defamatory
defamatory language, yes, statement against. So yes, you can pay a fine to a person. And there's imprisonment. So I think it depends on the
severity,
how grievous the statement is.
Yes, I remember.
Understand?
I think I remember the law of thought. The law of thought actually says when you put out a defamatory statement about someone, you cyberbullying them or something, they have the duty to prove the damage.
Yes,
And that will be special damages. That means whatever damage they are able to prove which is
determine.
we determine, and they can, you remember, they can still request for general damages, which is at the discretion of the court.
Yes.
Yeah. So
And sometimes the person can even be asked to like retract the statement. Okay,
Retract the
can go
statement.
online to okay, maybe come online again to say, oh, the statement I put out earlier is false.
it's false.
Just
The-
like
my problem with retraction is that if you give people if people know that once they make a defamatory declaration on people online, all they would have to do is to just come back after a few days and retract. Remember, the damage has been done. So I don't feel retraction. I know that retraction is one of the remedies in law, but personally, I don't feel retraction is enough to cure some kind of damage.
no, but you know, a situation whereby I put out a statement about someone that, oh, this person is a criminal, and they've been coming out again to say, oh, I'm very sorry, I didn't make out my findings, I didn't do the right findings, but not the statements. This person is not a criminal. Same person that made the first statement coming out again to say, oh, no, I think it actually makes sense.
That
Do you
actually
understand?
reminds me of
Makes sense.
the story of a young lady in the city of Ibadan who went to a wedding ceremony, and I think her complaint was that they did not open the venue on time, and the venue is not as fine as they are saying. So she picked, our young people these days, they are very, very hasty in bringing out their phones and making records. So she recorded a video mentioning the name of the event center, raining curses and abusive words on the owner, saying, oh, we were supposed to have a wedding here today, they did not open it on time, this person is a mad person, is a stupid person. And at the end of the day, it was very, very unfortunate for her, because the arrangement they made for settlement was she was going to unfortunately for her, the video blew up. She had about 30,000 likes, and this person was like, you've already damaged the reputation of my event center. So what do? They said, okay, you make a video now and tell the whole world that when you were making the initial video, you were having mental disorder, like you were mad or something.
Yeah.
So you are not in your
So
lucid.
you come under insanity. Oh.
Thank you very much. That you were insane.
Yeah.
And so they say, make a new video, tell the whole world you were insane, and the original video, bring it down. Now the video telling the world you are insane, you have to like pin it to your profile for 3 months. So when people enter your profile, the first thing they see is that you calling yourself a mad person. So, and when I saw the young lady, the way she was apologizing and pleading and holding the legs of the man, I call her gentle lady. The problem was, when you were making this video, what was actually running through your head? So I don't know why a lot of people rush to put out statements, rush to tarnish the reputation of others, only to suffer the consequence. They're unable to bear it.
I think I would even like to, ship this in, because if we go online these days, especially if you're someone that is used to X very well, I make use of X. You see people come online because this man, this guy Elon Musk, he pays what's it called, people that subscribe, that pay for blue tick. So now people just come online to post stuffs for clouds just to get the engagement. This kind of things. When you put out statements, because you see them posting some celebrities, or this particular person, the child is dead, or some things that it's not as if they're not sure of it, or they know this thing is wrong, but they still do it. It is not right. It's very important for you to know that there are some states you don't use social media for, because at the end of the day you might feel like, oh, you have freedom of speech, you have freedom to express yourself, but at the end of the day you are still killing yourself. You see them getting picked up. Sometimes you're just gonna say, oh, this person that put out this statement, so they've arrested the person. So we have to be very careful of what we say and the kinds of posts we put out.
Yeah,
on social media.
before the program comes to an end, it is also important to say, I think we've been focusing on this defamation, cyber stalking of a thing. It is also a cyber crime actually to have unauthorized access to people's digital devices. Like, I put my laptop on my table and you go there. I don't even need to prove that you've caused any damage. So far, I did not authorize you to go to that laptop.
Yes,
or
and you see
phone.
people linking devices. You say, oh, because someone is close to you, or your relative, your partner, you want to know whatever it is that is going on in their life, without give them access to it. This happens a lot. It is very important that we know that by the time this person find out about it, and they realize that, oh, this is a breach of my privacy, they can come out against you and say, oh, this thing is wrong. We should all know that this is a crime. Quick pay, because I'm your partner. Quick pay, oh, yeah, woman, coming here, Abi and Farah, you have to go to my phone, have access to my phone without me authorizing you. It is a crime.
It is.
Do you understand? So we have to be.
I also believe that we should not open avenue for people to commit cybercrime against us. You see some people, For instance, your personal WhatsApp on office computer, and things like this.
That's why I tell people that if you don't want people to have access to your personal space, don't make them access. Then the fact that they put down they allow you to have access does not mean you have to have access to it. Do you understand? Don't go beyond where you're supposed to go.
Very well, thank you very
Respect
much. So our people, we are preaching the responsible use of social media, the responsible use of your digital space, your digital devices. Nobody has the authority to invade your digital space. I think people really understand the concept of physical space. That's a trespass. Don't come into my house, don't come into my property. A lot of people don't really understand the concept of digital space. Like, I can also restrict you. You can restrict people from the way they access your digital space. That's your social media.
Even people restrict comments now. But the moment you say that, there are some comments that you want, if you don't want them to be on it, then you restrict comments that come under. So they do it a lot.
Unfortunately, so I don't know. I think there's a lot of hypocrisy in Nigeria. You know why I said so? Because last month there was a guy that went online that actually say Adekunle Gold's child is dead or was dead, and Adekunle Gold was very angry. Police investigated the matter and the guy was taken to court, and I think he was sentenced to 2 years. And you see Nigerians coming out and calling Adekunle Gold and saying, oh, you are a bad person, you are flexing your muscle. I feel like, what's wrong with Nigerians? I don't know. Is it really appropriate for someone to come online and say the child of someone else is dead? So I believe we can really do better. We can do better. Thank you very much. This will be the end of the program today. We are very grateful. Indamola, it's my pleasure to have you on the show again.
Thank you for having me. I'm also glad.
So before we call it a queen, my name is Darasime Okpefetime, once again, your favorite lawyer. Until next week when we meet again on another episode of this program, stay safe and do not commit any cybercrime.
Broadcasting live and loud. Be informed, inspired.